Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about the concept of loss reserving for P&C insurance. Then we are going to talk about one of the three methods for this loss reserving, the expected loss ratio method. First, we need to understand a few concepts. Paid losses are loss amounts that have already been paid to claimant. Case reserve is the estimate of the remaining amount of money needed to ultimately settle a claim. An incurred loss or reported loss is the sum of paid losses and the current case reserve. Let's look at these claim examples to understand the concept. So in this case, the claim occurred on November 2nd, which is the first year, and the claim was reported on March 14th of the second year. And when it's recorded into the insurance book, it's already June 27th. And on January 7th of the third year, the 35,000 medical expenses was paid, and also offer a 100,000 settlement. However, they didn't accept the settlement, so offer goes to court on May 9th. Now, on October 6th of the fourth year, they finally settled it for 250,000. Now let's look at each year's loss incurred to date and the loss paid to date and the case reserve. So in the second year, 200K was settled, but it's not paid yet. So this is a case reserve, but this is also considered as a loss incurred to date, because loss incurred to date is the loss paid to date plus case reserve. Now, in the third year, the case reserve was set to 300K, and the medical payment of 35,000 was paid. So the total loss incurred to date would be 335,000. And in the fourth year, there's no more case reserve because the case is settled, and they pay additional 250,000. So the total loss paid to date is 285,000, and this is also the loss incurred to date, 285,000. Hope this example clarifies the concept between loss incurred to date, loss paid to date, and the case reserve. How do we estimate the loss reserve? A simple approach to estimate the loss reserve for a block of business is to sum up the case reserve for all claims, then add the following items to account for uncertainties with the claims. Provisions for future development in no claims, that is adjustment of case reserve. And second, provision for claim files that are closed but may reopen, example, workers' compensation. Third, provision for claims incurred but not reported, pure IBNR. Fourth, the provision for claims reported but not recorded, RBNR. The total of these four components is called either the total IBNR reserve, gross IBNR reserve, or bulk reserve. Then loss reserve would be equal case reserve plus IBNR reserve. The next concept that we want to learn is ultimate losses. Note that the ultimate losses is the total amount the insurer eventually pays to close a claim. This was 285,000 in the previous example. In other words, the loss reserve is set as the projected outstanding payments on the claims. Loss reserve equal estimated ultimate losses minus losses paid to date. We can calculate IBNR reserve by subtracting the losses incurred today from the estimated ultimate losses. So IBNR reserve is estimated ultimate losses minus losses incurred today. The difference between the loss reserve and the IBNR reserve is the case reserve, which is the reserve set for claims that have been reported. So loss reserve minus IBNR reserve is equal loss incurred today minus loss paid today, which is equal case reserve. There are several ways to estimate the ultimate losses or IBNR. One straightforward way is using the expected loss ratio method. Loss ratio is the ratio of losses to premiums. In other words, it's the percentage of premium received that the insurer pays out in losses. Then for block of business I, the estimated ultimate losses are Li will equal the Pi, which is estimated premium, times expected loss ratio I. PI is the earned premium and the ELRI is the expected loss ratio. Then to calculate the reserve RI, subtract losses paid to the LIP from the estimated ultimate losses LI ultimate. So reserve RI is the L ultimate minus LP. Finally, the total reserve is the sum of the reserve for all blocks of business, so sum up all I. Now let's look at this example. This is a simple example. You are given the following information for a certain block of business. Earned premium is 1,000, expected loss ratio is 0.72, losses incurred to date is 550, losses paid to date is 480. So the reserve that we need to set aside is the ultimate loss minus loss paid today. Ultimate loss can be calculated by multiply the earned premium times the expected loss ratio. So 1,000 times 72.72 minus the loss paid today, which is 480. And from here you can get the answer is 240. Now let's look at the second example. You are given the following information for a particular line of business. AY1 means accident year 1. So each year you will have an earned premium, you will expect the loss ratio, you also have a loss paid to date. Based on this information, we can calculate each of the ultimate loss. Ultimate loss is just the earned premium times expected loss ratio. So after you get the ultimate losses for each accident year, you also have the information for loss paid today. Then you use ultimate losses minus losses paid today. You got the reserve for each year. Then the final answer is the sum of the reserve column. So it's 41 plus 178 plus 244 plus 625, which is equal 1088.